All right, it was good seeing you all. As you know, this room is about Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. But before I get off the mic, I wanted to say one thing because we had a couple of childish things happen tonight. Guys, this room is not about you. It's not about me. It never was. It's never been about us. I like the fact that we're here. I like the fact that we enjoy the music. And ultimately, the music is about Elvis Presley, and the room is about Elvis Presley. It's not called, it's about us room. It's the Elvis Memorial Music Room. And it only has my name ahead of that only because it's my room. But like I've said before, and I'll say it again, if I was to make the room again, I would not put my name first because I think that it does, throw people off sometimes. Because that's not what it's about. It's not about me at all. Zero. Zero about me. But when I made the room years ago, I was asked to make the room, and people said, hey, put your name there so people know it's your room, so they'll go there. And, because a lot of people know you. That's why I did it. But, like I said, if I had it to do over again, I would change that. But I am a man of superstition. I don't want to change anything at this point because we do good, and the room is good, and I don't want to change nothing. Exactly. So that's why I don't do that. But as you know, this room is about Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, the greatest entertainer that ever lived, the one and the only. I truly, truly, truly mean that, guys. This room is truly only about him. And, I let you guys play other music because Elvis appreciated all kinds of music. He liked gospel. He liked rhythm and blues. He liked opera. He liked all kinds of music. You name it, he liked it. He was well-rounded. That's why he can sing anything, because he listened to everything. And that's why I said when I made this room, I wanted it to be exactly what Elvis would have wanted in a Pal Talk room. And I know a few things about that. And that's what he would have wanted. He would have wanted a room where you guys could play what you want. We just don't play rap, and we just don't play heavy metal. Now, some heavy metal is good. Elvis liked some heavy metal, Just so you know, he did like some heavy metal, but not the crazy stuff. Elvis probably, I'll be honest with you, probably would have liked a few rap songs that actually were musically inclined. Now, don't jump on me when I say that, because I'm not talking about garbage rap, okay? I'm not talking about gangster rap. I'm talking about the rap that uses, fast talking and rhythm and it's got backbeats and it's got musical to it and it's actually talent involved. Elvis loved talent. So he would have, let's think of something, guys. Elvis started a genre of music, rock and roll, that was not accepted by the older population. It wasn't understood by older people. Most older people didn't understand about rock and roll. They're like, what the hell is this shit, This is crazy, man. We got to stop this. This is the devil music, People thought that. And Elvis is like, I don't understand it, It's just, it's what I feel. I'm singing what I feel. I'm singing good music, And my body's just moving to the music. I'm not trying to be, lewd and vulgar. I'm just moving to the music. I don't even realize I'm doing it, He didn't realize he was doing it. He was just moving to the music. And, for Elvis now, at 80 years of age, to stand here in this room beside me and tell you that, he doesn't like any form of rap would be a lie, okay? Just so you know. Because what you guys feel about rap music, in general, most of it, I understand, and he would too. But some of it, exactly, Barbie, she said crap. But some of it, you guys are missing the point. It's not about rap. 10%, 20%. He would want you guys to accept it because it's new music, whether you like it or you don't. Trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of people that didn't like Elvis Presley. I will sit here and tell you that my great-grandmother hated Elvis Presley. Hated him. I went to her, she loved me. I used to go to her house all the time, my great-grandmother. Her name was Grandma Durana. Beautiful lady, awesome lady. but she was 95 years old when she passed away. Okay, she was born in 1905. She was 30 years old when Elvis was born. So when Elvis became a star, she was like 55 years old. To her, Elvis was the devil, man. You know, Elvis was shit. She didn't want to hear nothing or nothing about him. You know, Elvis, I don't want to hear nothing about that goofball. That's how she felt. You know, and my grandfather, God love him, his name's Jack. You know, he didn't like Elvis either. Okay, my mom loved Elvis. My dad loved Elvis. And I've told you the story how my parents kind of followed Elvis around. My dad was in the military. You know, he was in all the different places that Elvis was. And my mom was in all the different places Elvis was. In Germany at the same time. And my dad was in the military at the same time. And in the army at the same post Elvis was at the same time. My mom worked at the same theater that Elvis used to rent. You know, so, you know, my parents loved Elvis. Okay, but my grandfather couldn't stand him. My grandmother now, she loved Elvis. The only reason I'm saying all this is because it depends what generation you're from. Now, my generation, Lil's generation, even though she's 10 years younger than me, and a lot of the people in this room's generation, you think rap is shit. And for the most part, I'd have to say that a lot of it is. Okay? But keep in mind, Lil, you're not supposed to be arguing with me. But keep in mind, even though that's cool, you know, just don't argue with me about it. Keep in mind what I'm talking about this. I'm talking about 10 or 20%, okay? Has some musical talent, okay? I'm just saying. Elvis would have liked some of it. And don't be hypocritical, people, and sit there and say it's all shit. Nothing is all shit, guys. No music is all shit. No all opera is all shit. No all country is all shit. No all gospel is all shit. No, I mean, I don't care if you're, you know, what you come from or where you at or whatever. None of it is all shit. Shirk comes in the room and she plays music from Vietnam. I think it's very pretty. You know, some people may not like it. I think it's great. You know, there's a lot of music. The reason why I'm accepting of some of the musical rap out there, you know, I'm not talking about Lil Wayne, he's a goofball. I'm not talking about Kanye West, he's a dumbass. You know, I'm not talking about a lot of the music rap groups out there, okay? They're douchebags, okay? Truly douchebags. Just so you know. I'm talking about 10 or 20% of it. You know, probably if you go back to the beginning of rap music, the development of it, you know, you will find that there is some good music involved. And like I said, guys, let's sit back, take a deep breath, and remember that in 20 years there's going to be another form of music that comes out. You know, who knows what it'll be called. And we're all going to sit there in our rocking chairs with our gray hair and go, this shit sucks. These young people today, they're terrible. Well, there you go, MC Hammer. I think he's pretty decent, in my opinion. See, a lot of the music out there that's rap is just basically rehashed backbeats from other songs that they sing to. You know, there's nothing wrong with, like MC Hammer, he's completely harmless, you know. But, like I said, I'm not about getting into some argument about rap music. Only reason I bring up rap is because we don't allow it in the room. Because, unfortunately, it turns into that gangster rap and Lil Wayne bullshit I don't want to listen to. And so that's why we don't do it. And heavy metal, you know, if we allowed heavy metal, it would, you know, it wouldn't be Van Halen or Kiss or, you know, or a group that's more acceptable. It would turn into some kind of screaming, utter bullshit nobody wants to listen to. And that's why we don't do it. But, you know, some Metallica's okay. I like Metallica to some extent. But, you know, I just want... Okay, Metallica is not who I was talking about. There's some screaming, heavy metal out there. But I just want us to do this. This is it. Guys, listen when I say this. Listen carefully. Don't hate any form of music. Don't hate anything. Find the good in all. Because the same time that you're sitting there hating on this kind of music, remember that generations before you were hating on Elvis for the same reasons you are hating on this form of music. Even though you might dislike 90% of it, find the 10% that you can like. Find the 10% you can appreciate. That's all. Find the 10% you can appreciate. That's it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Elvis Presley would not have became who he became if it wasn't for a couple people. And the one person that helped Elvis to get accepted. Now, guys, think about this. And I'm going to get off the mic because, I'm on my tirade again. Think about this. A lot of people out there back in the 50s didn't like Elvis. I mean, they wanted to arrest him. He was lewd. He was crude. I mean, he was filmed. In Florida, they wanted to arrest him. They told him, if you do anything lewd, we will arrest you and take you to prison. He was filmed from if he did anything, he was going to go to jail. I mean, think about that. Elvis Presley going to go to jail for being lewd and crude from what they do today. But there was a couple things that happened in Elvis's life that saved him and made him be accepted. Now, back in the 50s, it was pretty much, you couldn't do a whole lot of nothing on stage. I mean, really. I mean, think about Elvis. He moved his hips, and yes, he paved the way for acceptance. It's true, though. But there's one person, guys, I don't know if a lot of people put this two and two together. And I'm not necessarily a huge fan of his because he wasn't always, he kind of wasn't always for Elvis at the beginning. As a matter of fact, he said that he wouldn't put Elvis on his show at the beginning. He didn't want Elvis on his show. He said he would never put Elvis on his show. And that was Ed Sullivan. At first, he didn't like him. Ed Sullivan didn't want nothing to do with Elvis. But then he seen the value of having Elvis on his show. And then it ended up, when Elvis was on his show, it was the highest rated show on TV in the history of TV at the time. So apparently, he figured out real quick that Elvis was pretty important to TV and to people. But keep this in mind. If it wasn't for Ed Sullivan, Elvis would have never been accepted by the mainstream media and by the mainstream people. And when I say mainstream, I'm talking about adults, people over 50, because they couldn't stand Elvis at the time. They didn't know what this guy was. All they knew is it made their daughters jump up and scream and yell and act like fools and get all sexual. They had no idea what was going on. They're like, what the hell is this guy all about? I have no idea what he's all about. I have no idea what the situation here is, but he's making my daughter act like a fool. And my son's screaming, and it's making him get pissed off because his girlfriend's all gyrating about this guy, and I don't want nothing to do with this guy. Okay? Then Ed Sullivan gets on stage and introduces Elvis Presley and says, I want to introduce this young man who is a good, decent young man. And I've had a lot of acts on my show, and I wanted to just say that this man has been one of the finest acts I've had on my show. And he's been a gentleman all the way. And I'd like to thank him for being here. And Elvis Presley said, thank you, Mr. Sullivan. And the rest is history. And that is why Elvis was accepted by the older people. So, guys, don't be unaccepting of different music. The reason I accept all music in this room is because Elvis appreciated all music. I've said it a million times. I've said it in this soapbox speech. He liked all music. So, find the value in all music. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to like, if you just like 1% of music, you might hate opera, but find 1% that you can appreciate. You might hate rap, but find 1% you appreciate. You may hate gospel just because you think it's goofy or whatever you think. Maybe you don't like religion. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Your beliefs are your own beliefs. I'm not here to tell you how to believe. But Find 1% you can appreciate. There's got to be 1% you can appreciate. That's all. And that's why we do what we do.